Moshe Lavi is the brother-in-law of Israeli hostage Omri Miran. Thanks so much for joining, Moshe.
Thank you, Jim.
First, let me ask you just how you and your family are doing to see the war in Gaza expand once again and a deal, it seems, pushed off once again.
Yes, it's a difficult moment for many families of hostages, including ours. Only a few weeks ago, we received a proof of life from Omri. Hamas released a psychological warfare video featuring him. We didn't focus on the words he was forced to say, but on the fact that he's alive. We didn't focus on the fact that he looks unwell, but on the fact that he's alive. And now I feel like the rest of my family members that the expansion of the operation may risk his life and may bring us farther away from bringing him home to my sister Lishai and two baby nieces, Ronnie and Alma.
Yeah, growing up without their father now. Given the public support in Israel for bringing all the hostages home, it's been there since the beginning. Why do you believe this government and this prime minister are expanding the war rather than focusing their efforts on another hostage ceasefire deal?
I'm not sure, I'm not sure they have the mandate to ignore all the polls, the public polls that have been published, almost all of them since May 24, that are indicating the public prioritize the return of the hostages above any other objectives that they may have in this war against a vicious, brutal, genocidal enemy, Hamas. But despite the fact that what this group is, the public wants to see the hostages home, which means that we'll have to come to the table and agree on a deal. I lobby and advocate a lot here in the US with the administration and Congress. And the sense I get from the Trump administration is that they also want to see a deal that ends the war and bring home the hostages. So what I see now is that there is a disparity between the policy of the Trump administration, of his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, and the policy that the Israeli government agreed on over the past few days. The hostages are no longer the key priority, it seems, for the government.
Do you believe that President Trump, Steve Witkoff, should be applying more explicit pressure on Netanyahu to make a deal? Because, of course, the perception was that the last president, Joe Biden, was not willing to apply that pressure, but that Donald Trump would.
I think we reached the deal in January, thanks to the pressure applied by President Trump on all the stakeholders. On one hand, Israel, and on the other hand, the sponsors of Hamas, countries like Qatar, Turkey, Iran. And he applied that pressure brilliantly in several ways. We need that pressure back. We need the administration explain to its ally and partner Israel that the hostages are the key priority of both the public and the administration. And we need them to make clear to Hamas sponsors that Hamas cannot stay in power in Gaza, both for the benefit of Gazans and for the benefit of the future of the region. And so we need that pressure applied, and we need that now. This is a key moment in this war. If it's going to be expanded again, if we're going to get into the situation that we were back in May 24, where the operation was expanded in southern Gaza, then I'm afraid that we might lose the ability to bring them hold the 59 hostages, those who are alive, the 24 believed to be alive, to reunite with their families, and those who were murdered to be buried.
You reference this possibility that only 24 hostages remain alive. There was that moment, that open mic moment with the prime minister's wife. Do you believe the Israeli government has been completely honest with you and other hostage families about what they know about the status of those hostages still held there?
I want to believe that they are honest with us. It's part of their duty as an elected government in a democratic nation to be transparent with us, with the wider public. I understand as well that there is the fog of war, which means that there might be indications that some hostages have lost their lives. But at the moment, that's the number we know. That's the number we operate on, and it doesn't matter even if there is one living hostage right now, or 24 or 59. Every life matters, and that life needs to be saved, and there is an opportunity to save it if we stick to the plan that was laid out in early January when the Trump administration in January 20th began its tenure, and even earlier before that, that we have a deal, we have a phase one, and then we have a phase two that we're going to negotiate. We have not negotiated that, and instead we're hearing radical elements of the Israeli government stating things like the ones you shared before, expanding the operations in order to take territory and never leave it. And on the other hand, we're hearing Hamas are refusing to surrender, to understand that they can't be part of the government in Gaza in the future, and that they have to dismantle the military apparatus. It's a difficult moment for us and for Gazans as well, who are suffering as a consequence.
No question. Moshe Lavi, we do wish the best to you and your family and hope that you get some good news.
Thank you.